The massive alien ship hung in Earth's orbit like a dark storm cloud. Captain Lisa Monroe stood on the bridge of the human vessel, watching the enemy craft through the main screen. 3 days had passed since the ceasefire began, but nobody trusted the alien warriors known as the HFY. "Captain, the alien queen wants to speak with you again," reported Commander Jake Riley from his station. Lisa nodded and walked to the communication panel. The holographic image of Queen Zareth appeared before her. The HFY ruler stood 8 feet tall with midnight blue skin and fierce golden eyes. Her armor gleamed with battle scars. "Human, leader, my daughter grows worse," the queen said with worry in her voice. "Your weapons have poisoned her blood. She will die without proper healing." "Your Majesty, we have told you before that our medical team can help," Lisa replied calmly. "Dr. Ben Carter is the best medic we have. He has saved many lives." The queen's eyes flashed with anger. "No human will touch royal blood. My warriors would kill any who try. We will find another way." The transmission ended, leaving Lisa frustrated. She had watched this same conversation happen 6 times over the past 2 days. The alien princess lay dying from human weapons, but their pride would not let them accept help. Dr. Ben Carter sat in the medical bay checking his supplies for the 100th time. He was a thin man with kind brown eyes and gentle hands. At 32 years old, he had seen enough war to last several lifetimes. The thought of letting anyone die when he could help made his stomach turn. "Still thinking about the princess?" asked Nurse Amy Collins as she entered the room. Ben nodded and put down his medical scanner. "She has maybe 12 hours left from what I can tell through their scans. The toxin from our plasma rounds is eating through her system." "The Queen will never let you aboard their ship," Amy said sadly. "Their honor code is too strong." "Maybe," Ben replied, but his mind was already forming a desperate plan. That night, Ben made his choice. He gathered his medical supplies and headed to the shuttle bay. The night shift guards were lighter and he knew the patrol routes by heart. Getting to a shuttle would be easy, but reaching the alien ship alive would be nearly impossible. As he prepared the small craft, Amy appeared in the doorway. "I knew you would try something foolish," she said, crossing her arms. "Amy, I have to try," Ben explained as he loaded his equipment. "She is just a child caught in a war she did not start." "The HFY will kill you the moment you step aboard their ship," Amy warned. "Their warriors show no mercy to enemies." Ben sealed his medical kit and looked at his friend. "Then I will die knowing I tried to save a life instead of watching her suffer." The small shuttle launched quietly into space. Ben had disabled the tracking systems and communications to avoid being stopped by his own people. The alien ship grew larger in his viewport as he approached. Its dark metal surface was covered with weapon ports and battle damage. Warning lights flashed on his console as HFY fighters surrounded his shuttle. Their harsh voices crackled over the radio, speaking in their alien language. Ben had learned some basic words during the ceasefire talks. "Medical help," he said slowly into his radio. "Princess hurt. I heal." The fighters escorted his shuttle into the alien ship's bay. As the doors sealed behind him, Ben felt his heart racing. Dozens of HFY warriors waited for him with weapons drawn. Their leader stepped forward, revealing herself as Commander Kethra, the Queen's personal guard. "Human fool," she growled in accented English. "You come here to die." "I come to heal," Ben replied, climbing out of his shuttle with hands raised. "Your princess needs help." Kethra laughed coldly. "No human touches royal blood. You will be executed for this insult." "Wait," called a weak voice from the bay entrance. Princess Lyreth appeared, leaning heavily on 2 guards. She was younger than Ben expected, with the same golden eyes as her mother, but her skin had turned pale gray from the poison. "Let him try, Mother's guard," the princess said, struggling to stay upright. "I am dying anyway. What harm can he do that has not already been done?" Kethra's face showed internal conflict. Her duty was to protect the royal family, but the princess was beyond their medical abilities. "The Queen will have my head if I allow this. The Queen will have all our heads if I die when help was offered," Lyreth replied, then collapsed to the deck. Ben rushed forward despite the weapons pointed at him. He knelt beside the fallen princess and began his examination. Her pulse was weak and her breathing shallow. The toxin had spread through her entire system. "I need to get her to a medical bay immediately," Ben said, looking up at the hostile faces around him. Kethra hesitated, then made her decision. "Bring him," she ordered her warriors. "But if the human tries anything suspicious, kill him instantly." They carried the princess to the ship's medical center. Ben was amazed by the advanced alien technology but focused on his patient. He connected his portable monitors to track her vital signs while studying the HFY medical equipment. "Can you read their displays?" asked Lieutenant Beth Parker, who had somehow appeared at his side. Ben spun around in shock. "Beth, what are you doing here?" "Following my crazy friend who decided to fly alone into enemy territory," she replied with a grin. "Amy told me what you were planning. I took another shuttle and followed you." Kethra aimed her weapon at the new arrival. "Another human spy. Another healer," Ben corrected quickly. "Beth is my best nurse. I need her help to save the princess." The alien commander looked ready to refuse, but Princess Lyrith stirred on the medical table. "Let them work," she whispered. "Please." For the next 8 hours, Ben and Beth worked to save the dying alien. They had to adapt human medical techniques to HFY physiology, while using a combination of both species' technology. The princess's condition grew worse before it began to improve. During the most critical moments, when her heart nearly stopped, a crowd of alien warriors gathered outside the medical bay. Word had spread through the ship that humans were attempting to heal their beloved princess. Some wanted to storm in and kill the intruders, while others waited anxiously for news. Queen Zareth herself arrived as dawn broke over Earth below. She entered the medical bay wearing full battle armor and followed by her royal guard. Ben looked up from his patient as the imposing ruler approached. "How does she fare, human?" the queen asked in a voice that could have frozen space itself. "The toxin is almost cleared from her system," Ben reported tiredly. "She should wake up within the hour. Her body needs time to heal, but she will live." The queen stared at her daughter's peaceful face. Color had returned to the princess's skin and her breathing was strong and steady. For the first time in days, Lyrith looked like she was simply sleeping instead of dying. "Why did you come here?" Queen Zareth asked Ben. "You knew my warriors would likely kill you." Ben cleaned his hands and put away his medical tools. "Because she needed help, and I could provide it. Her life has value regardless of what species she belongs to." "Even though we are enemies," the queen pressed. "Especially because we are enemies," Ben replied. "Healing builds bridges that weapons cannot. Maybe this war does not have to continue." Princess Lyrith opened her eyes and saw her mother standing beside the medical table. "Mother," she said weakly, reaching up. Queen Zareth took her daughter's hand and for a moment her fierce mask slipped, showing the relieved parent underneath. "Rest, child. You are safe now." The princess turned her head and saw Ben checking his equipment nearby. "The human healer," she said softly. "You saved my life." Ben smiled gently. "You are young with much life ahead of you. I was honored to help." Over the next 2 days, as Princess Lyrith recovered Ben, and Beth remained aboard the alien ship as guests rather than prisoners. They shared medical knowledge with HFY healers and learned about alien biology in return. Commander Kethra, who had initially wanted to execute them, became curious about human medicine. "Your healing methods are different from ours," she observed, watching Ben treat minor injuries among the crew. "Different but effective when combined," Ben replied. "Your people's regenerative abilities are remarkable. Humans could learn much from HFY medicine, as could we from yours," Kethra admitted grudgingly. When it came time to leave, Queen Zareth met with Ben and Beth in her private chambers. The room was decorated with trophies from 100 battles, but also contained items that spoke of a mother's love for her child. "Human healers, I am in your debt," the queen said formally. "Name your reward, and it shall be granted." Ben exchanged glances with Beth before answering. "Your Majesty, all we want is peace between our peoples. Too many have died on both sides." "Peace," the Queen repeated, as if the word was foreign. The Vex-High have known only war for generations, but perhaps it is time for a new path. She walked to a window showing Earth hanging in space below. My daughter tells me she wishes to study human medicine. She believes our species could benefit from working together rather than fighting. She is wise for one so young, Beth observed. Queen Zareth turned back to them with something approaching a smile. She gets that from her father. He always said the strongest warriors know when not to fight. 3 months later, a joint medical station operated in neutral space between Earth and the Vex-High homeworld. Dr. Ben Carter served as its chief medical officer, working alongside Princess Lyrith, who had proven to be a gifted healer in her